This is John Paul Wright. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. Some people call me Alright, the Mary Sue has got their Joker article and they're unhappy that the Joker doesn't treat female characters very well. And I just have to say, so what? Here's the thing. I think the battle for having strong female characters is already won. There are strong female characters everywhere. And if a movie doesn't have strong female characters, then it could be criticized for that. And what's the big deal? What if the Joker didn't treat female characters with, I'm not saying respect, but just like they weren't like in there enough, they weren't important enough. So what? What if the characters who are men, who happen to be in this case a 70-year-old legacy character, are the important ones and the women aren't in this movie? So I just, I'm just kind of tired of it. That it's got to be, like I said, this even Steven with the writing. That hurts writing, that hurts stories, that hurts movies. It's got to be what it's got to be. What about the Hunger Games? Katniss was the main hero through the whole thing. Great. So there's that movie. What about Kill Bill? Beatrice Kiddo was the main hero through the whole thing. What about Star Wars now? Rey is the main Jedi through the whole thing. Okay, so what if the Joker is the main thing through the whole thing and there's no dominant female leads or something like that? What's the difference? It goes back and forth. There's hundreds of movies a year. Who cares? I guess apparently the Mary Sue needs every single movie to have strong female representation. Doesn't make sense. This world is based on probability. And probability says there should be a switch-off, a balance, a trade-off. It's your turn, it's my turn, it's your turn, it's my turn. That's how it is. So if every single movie had the same exact representation for every single color, race, gender, female, male, that would be just as boring as if everything was the same color. That's the fact of the matter. Let's take a look at what they say. I have to laugh at Joker's terrible treatment of its female characters. I want the Joker to prove me wrong, was open and willing to have my negative expectations upended by the movie. Unfortunately, that was very far from the case, but the bland, potential, dangerous narrative around the Joker's origin story that got so much attention wasn't even the worst part. The worst part is how this movie treats its female characters as absolutely nothing. And like I said, okay, what if there weren't female characters at all? What if it was Shawshank Redemption? Well, you know what? Then another movie would come out a few weeks from now, and there wouldn't be strong men. There would be women, and that would be fine. And you could just take turns and switch off. It's no big deal. Whatever gets represented isn't a big deal. What if, God forbid, there was a movie that had no black people? Or a movie that had no white people? Or no Mexican people? So what? Then in the next one, there will be a movie that features that race. And it goes back and forth, and we take turns being in the spotlight. That's what life's about. By nothing, I mean nothing. By my count, only one woman is actually named out loud, and she is framed as the root cause of all the mental emotional struggles that Arthur Fleck is faced with. And that's because of her own struggles with mental illness. That anyone would praise this movie's takes on mental illness baffles me, but then again, that's just the tip of the iceberg with problems with the Joker, because all I'm doing is think about the roles of the women, and I'm not actually thinking about the story, how well the movie's made, how it makes you feel, the actual character. Let me tell you something, sweetheart. The Joker is a solo story about the Joker, who's been a man for 70 years. That's how it should stay, and there's nothing wrong with that. If the only character this movie focused on was the Joker, that would make perfect sense, and that would be brilliant. Why would you have a woman take a forefront lead in a story about a man? It makes no sense. This is not only any man, this is, like I said, a legacy character of going on 80 years now? So now it's like 2019 and he's got to share the spotlight with a woman just simply because there's not a woman in the movie? What sense does that make? Why can't the Joker who's a man just have the spotlight? I don't get it. I know some of you guys are going to be like, oh, EH, you are actually a sexist. I knew it. This channel is sexist, you sexist man, baby, toxic freak. Well, guess what? Let me give you an example. Mad Max was a movie where Furiosa actually played more of a lead role than Mad Max did. And I was okay with that because Furiosa was a great character. She was built up. She goes head to head with Mad Max, and she actually is the one that kills all the freaking big badasses of the movie. I wasn't complaining. I love Mad Max. it works, because the Mad Max world isn't all about Mad Max. It's about the world, survival, the desert, the people he meets. But Joker is about the Joker. She complains about the Joker's mother and how the mother isn't treated right and how there's not enough emphasis on the mother being strong, how the mother is treated as crazy. You know, so the mother's not important, no one's important, the girlfriend's not important. And, you know, I can't read this whole article. I mean, I can, but do you guys really want that? Let me know if you actually want that, and you know, down in the comments, whoever's commenting. Let me know if you actually want a whole article read, because I'm not sure. Read a little bit more. Penny is seen as crazy and no one gives her the time of day, but Arthur's version of crazy, the chaos that embodies the Joker, that's explored in detail and presented as a justification for his actions. The thing about the Joker that makes him intriguing is that we know nothing of his malicious nature. He is the embodiment of chaos and willing to murder and incite violence just because it delights him. With this movie, it can all stem back to how he's treated by society and almost more importantly, how his mother treated him growing up. But we never get a look into her very clear struggle with mental illness because hers doesn't matter outside of what it influences Arthur, because she is his mother and she has nothing to do with being the main character in a Joker movie who was the main character. Altogether, there are 3 women with any kind of significance in the film. Martha Wayne, who I do not think speaks a single word in this movie, Sophie Duman, played by Zazie Betts, and a character name I had to look up because her name is never said once, and Penny. That's it. Sure, there are the bit roles of Arkham psychiatrist and social worker. Apparently Fleck names his therapist in the movie, but I do not remember the IMDb list. Apparently Fleck names his therapist in the movie, but I do not remember an IMDb list her as social worker. So I guess they're sexist pigs too. And previously stated, there's that. There's also a brief appearance from Dr. Ruth S. Sex therapist, not exactly substantial examples of female representation in the film. And like I said, it doesn't matter, because the film's named The Joker, and the Joker's a man, and that's that. And if a movie about a woman, there was no strong male representation, I think that was fine. If the woman was a superhero, it's about her. So, what's the big deal? I don't know. I just feel like I'm going to take the liberty with some characters and some franchises to be 100% honest with you guys, because I see absolutely nothing wrong with the Joker not having strong female representation, because it doesn't even make much sense that there should be. It's a solo movie. I said that already, about the Joker. You guys got it. Anyway, I'm doing shout-outs, special thanks, things like that. Let's do a shout-out right now. Shout-out to Man of Beard. I think I've given him one before, but I can't remember at this point. I'm just pretty much giving shout-outs to whoever is, like, commenting. And, yeah, thank you again and again and again. And I will see you next time. If you click that subscribe button, smash it, press it, whatever. I'm talking. Screwing up the end of the video, which I always do. If you notice, see you next time.
If you are not subscribed to this channel, The Entertainment Hacker, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button now.